Welcome back, everyone. Now, the Ghana Stock Exchange, which led the League of African Stock Exchanges as the best performing market in the first half of this year in dollar term, was beaten to the first position by the Lusaka Stock Exchange in the first 9 months of this year. The impressive run by the Zambian kwacha against the dollar was the key contributory factor to the cobblers being pushed to the second position. Charles Nexeneboa has been going through the League of African Stock Exchanges and has more.
In local currency terms, the Accra Bears was the best performing market on the African continent, but the 1.78% depreciation of the cedi to the dollar and the 27 percentage points gain in the Zambian currency to the dollar pushed the Ghana Stock Exchange to the second position, whilst the GSE recorded about 44 percentage points gain in dollar term for investors at the end of September. The Lusaka Stock Exchange registered 58%. The 44% return for investors was, however, better than the one achieved in the first half of this year. Until July, the market was the number one on the African continent in performance in dollar terms. Indeed, the cedi's relative stable performance have compelled many investors to invest in the equity market. According to the trading result, 15 stocks on both the main and SME market registered gains in their market value, while 6 stocks recorded losses. The best performing stock is Farm Milk and is followed by Societe Generale and MTN Ghana. However, the worst performing stock is Cocoa Processing Company, which is selling at 2 pesos per share. On the continent, the worst performing market is the Nigerian Stock Exchange with an annualized return of negative 7.60%.
Well, meanwhile, head of Data Bank Research, Alex Boyne, says there's no cause to worry. He projects the Ghana Stock Exchange to continue its exceptional performance in the last quarter of this year.
What we are seeing now, which is around 60%, is mainly driven by the appreciation of the Zambian kwacha. And as you may be aware, I mean, for the past couple of years, we have seen the Zambian kwacha actually come under severe pressure, and the currency is actually recovering from the losses that it made for the past couple of years. And I think there seems to be some renewed confidence in the economy also following a successful election. So that is actually driving the sentiment, or the positive sentiment, that we have seen around the kwacha, and also pushing up the USD return of Zambian stocks. But if you look at it fundamentally, appreciation by the companies that are listed on the Zambian Stock Exchange is, I mean, the index has done just about 23% or thereabouts, which is significantly below what we have seen from Ghana Stock Exchange.
Okay, so not necessarily the case that the Ghana Stock Exchange slacked? No, it's mainly driven by the performance or the appreciation of the Zambian kwacha. So for domestic investors in Zambia, this 60% that we are talking about might not be necessarily beneficial for them. It will benefit foreign investors who are actually exchanging they are selling their stake and taking it in dollar to abroad. Yeah. Another big story we are following for you: Facebook Incorporated is in court battling an antitrust case. The social media giant on Monday asked a judge to dismiss the U.S. government's revised antitrust case that seeks to force the social media giant to sell Instagram and WhatsApp. Facebook said in a court filing that the Federal Trade Commission had failed to provide a plausible factual basis for branding Facebook an unlawful monopolist. Now, yesterday's blackout of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram has resurrected the conversation of the risks of Facebook's monopoly. Lead for iSolve Africa, Henry Cobbler, says rather than split Facebook, emerging techs must be supported to make them competitive.
The people that will protect the citizenry, the people that will protect other businesses, other interests, financial interests, should be looking at also setting up some of these research and development sectors that could actually precede some of these technological advancements. I mean, in some of these techs, there are lots of predictions that come around it. And so we could always just do a lot of research to be able to know that these are what is coming up. I mean, for an example, like I mentioned, cryptocurrency is up and running. There are a lot of people that are just jumping on it. If you want to wait for crypto to be everywhere, and say crypto is powerful against the banks, then you're really not doing us good. You rather have to make sure that you actually just understand the tech, understand what's going to come in, enact policies, put in, a lot of funding into getting competitor platforms coming up, and also just get along with it. I think that should be the way to go, rather than trying to push other people because they become powerful. Tech is the new thing, and so you can't necessarily say that because it's the new era for it and it's actually taking advantage of what it could, you're going to push down on them. I mean, that's business. Everybody enacts its business in the way they want.
Now, in other news, the Association of Ghana Industries is continuing with its push for Ghanaian manufacturing firms to be given special interest rate for those exporting under the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. According to AGI, Ghanaian businesses will be competing with other countries that have low interest rates, and such a move will go a long way to support them. Chairman of the Greater Accra region of AGI, Chonam Akpelo, spoke to Joy Business at the association's annual regional general meeting.
Despite the country's declaration of being ready for the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, Ghanaian businesses are still facing challenges of competition with products from other countries. According to the Association of Ghana Industries, the concerns include high cost of credit and lack of education on tariff structure and goods that are capable of trading under the agreement. Chairman of the Greater Accra branch of the AGI, Chonam Akpelu, believes a specialized rate for businesses will answer many of the financial challenges and help Ghanaian businesses to penetrate the market.
Realize that as of today, borrowing from the banks ranges from not less than 20% per annum. This is extremely high, given that we're going to have to compete with other countries like Ethiopia, which is borrowing at the rate of 6%, like South Africa, which is borrowing at the rate of 12%. What we're asking for, that we're asking our commercial banks to look at the peculiar situation of Ghana and reduce the interest rates that they lend to our members in order to facilitate expansion in growth of industries.
Vice President of the AGI in charge of small and medium enterprises, Humphrey Eyimdake, called on the Ministry of Trade and Industry to expedite the processes on publishing the tariff structure and rate of goods and services that have qualified to trade under the program. He believes this will help many businesses to plan towards benefiting from the agreement.
Looking out for the other partners in the AFTA program that are ready regarding the custom harmonization issues, the tariff list, and the other related ones that are still under negotiation. So we're saying that they are work in process, and the speed matters, given that other countries have some advantages over us, and they are ready. When we did a barometer report, you could see the Moroccans are ready. South Africa, to some extent, are ready. And Ghana puts itself in the right place to be ready.
Members of the AGI are, however, upbeat about the prospects of the deal in the coming months.
Now, one of our top stories tonight, a meeting to resolve the trade feud between the Ghana Union of Traders Association and the Nigerian Union of Traders Association in Ghana was inconclusive. Reason? Well, the Nigerian traders failed to provide documents of tenancy agreements and related business registrations. The meeting has now been postponed to the 13th of October this year. Here's Emma Davis with the latest.
Efforts by Ghana and Nigeria governments to resolve the trade impasse among traders from both countries have been futile. The fourth meeting of the Ghana-Nigeria Joint Implementation Task Force ended again unsettled. The Nigerian traders were expected to provide documents of tenancy agreements and related business registrations to verify their legitimacy, but joined the meeting without the documents. Here is Executive Secretary of the Ghana International Trade Commission, Frank Ajekum.
The meeting had to be adjourned for another 1 week in the hope that by the time we meet again, the response from the consultation between the Nigerian traders and their government would have been resolved, and then we can move ahead from there. So that's where we are at the moment. And in the interim, the meeting has asked the Ghana Traders Union Association to also hold off any actions until we have a response from the Nigerian government, and then we will know what to do from there.
President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, has assured of his outfit's compliance to deliberations and hopes Nigerian Union of Traders Association, Ghana, does same. According to him, Nigerian traders have no choice but to live by the rules.
I wouldn't say that it was inconclusive, but at the end of it all, it has been agreed that next week should be a decisive week. And so I think our brothers have clearly understood that they have to comply and then move forward with this. From what they are saying, they are going to comply, and that's all that we are expecting, that they have to comply. It's the laws of the nation, and we make sure that it is done. Fortunately, we have also considered make some concessions by pleadings of government and all that. I hope they also have to respect same so that it will not bring any confusion to us again.
Minister for Economic Policy Guideline at the Nigerian Commission, Silvanus Dauda, is optimistic that Nigerian traders will provide the needed documents in the next meeting.
Well, there were some technical issues that we are going through, and I think also it needs some conviction on their part to other traders and retailers for the need for them to be in compliance, because there are laws of the land that must be complied with for them to participate in the retail space in the country. But I expect that the next meeting will see maximum, it may not be 100%, but we'll see some compliance, and the documents should be there for us to all peruse and make sure that they can be able to operate in this space given to them in the country.
And you're watching Business Live. Still to come, Ghanaian investors and entrepreneurs upbeat of strategic business links as new Africa Fund Summit opens in Montpellier. Charles Aite will be live for us with the latest. Stay tuned.
Hi there, welcome to the Money Lab. Today we would look at treasury bills and bonds. We would compare both of them. Now, for treasury bills, what do they mean? They are short-term money market instruments issued by the government. How about bonds? They are long-term capital market instruments also issued by the government. Comparison based on maturity length. For treasury bills, they are issued with a maturity of 1 year or less. For bonds, they are issued from 3 years upward. Interest payments. For treasury bills, they are issued at discounted prices. And for treasury bonds, they are not issued at a discount, but they pay interest every 6 months and pay the face value of the investment at the time of maturity. Now, what are the types? For treasury bills, there is the 91-day, the 182-day bill, and then the 364-day bill. For bonds, there are the municipal bonds, corporate bonds, the government of Ghana bonds, zero coupon bonds, green bonds, and so many more. How about price fluctuations? Price fluctuations are less with regards to treasury bills since it matures in a very short time. For bonds, price fluctuations are more due to the longer maturity period.
And that was our tour around the world for some international news. We'll still stay international because young Ghanaian business leaders are joining the new Africa-France Summit this week to explore investment opportunities. This summit is the first of its kind as French President Emmanuel Macron aims to redefine France-Africa business relations, this time around focusing on young entrepreneurs. My colleague Charles Aite is in Montpellier for the summit, joins us live with the latest from over there. Hi, Charles. Give us a bit more background to this summit.
Well, so as you rightly stated, Darryl, this is the very first of its kind organized by the French government, and it's all part of efforts to increase investments to the African continent. Already, we do know that when it comes to the trade surplus in Africa, it's so high than the market value on the side of France. So this informed the decision to this time around engage policyholders, engage entrepreneurs to ensure that their imports in French investments to Africa is much more heightened. So what we see currently is that we are no longer going to be falling on the ministers, the governments, policyholders, but rather on investors, to ensure that they get to hear from the entrepreneur, the African entrepreneur, the young SME holder. They get to hear from civil society the very roadblocks that often hinder, their work as entrepreneurs, so that they, in turn, the French government in turn could formulate policies that could help them, invest in these ventures in the medium to long term. So this is all about SMEs in Africa, specifically, across the continent. And we're talking of 400 African entrepreneurs going to be interlinking with 350 French investors. So the interlink subsequently is going to create some synergy when it comes to investment flows and the areas in which we have to put demands.
Okay, I heard from your earlier reporting there are B2B engagements going on, and the highlight of this summit will be the address by the French President Emmanuel Macron. What do we anticipate he's going to be saying when he addresses the summit, and what sort of idea would it give us about France's approach towards Africa when it comes to SME development?
We're expecting the French president to touch on 6 areas, from cultural development to education to entrepreneurship and innovation, which is of much interest to us, to matters regarding climate change and the participation of women in local government policies. But, this whole conference, today we had some preliminary discussions with organizers of the Montpellier event on Thursday and Friday as well. And what's going to happen is that they're going to scout information from all these SMEs and entrepreneurs in France who come to France for this summit, then submit a policy document of a sort to the French president to make his final thoughts and pronouncement on Friday. So this is exactly what we're going to be expecting. First of all, we're going to be expecting the new French-Africa trade partnership under this Montpellier agreement. We're also going to expect the French president to chart out new course when it comes to investment partners between French investors and that of their counterparts here in Africa. We might be asking the question, so what's in for Ghana? The stakes are so high here in Ghana because we're talking of us hosting the Continental Free Trade Secretariat, and of course the fact that Ghana has impressive business environments and of course policies that attract investors in that nature. So I've got in touch with some Ghanaian entrepreneurs, of which I will be sharing their submissions and subsequent bulletins, who are upbeat about this conference. They tell me the fact that it's going to grant them leverage, it's going to give them access to investment channels, and also help them expose the knowledge on the French and African patterns of trade and what lessons they can learn from the shortfalls as young investors and entrepreneurs here in Ghana.
All right, Charles Aite, live for us from Montpellier at the Africa-France Summit underway over there. Thanks so much for your update. We'll be following you closely on developments from over there. And that's it for Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. There's more news, as always, on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. We will be back same time tomorrow.